Kate here from Emerald Minecart. Today I am talking about Unknowingly and his supposed analog horror cinematic universe. I'll touch on that later, but if you somehow don't know who Unknowingly is a horror content creator who is known for making the popular and well-known Godzilla analog horror series, The Man in the Suit. Obviously, The Man in the Suit isn't the first analog horror series to be made, but it is the most well-known one when you bring up the topic of Godzilla analog horror. If you don't know what The Man in the Suit is, The Man in the Suit takes place in an alternate 50s where the original suit actor for Godzilla ends up going crazy with delusions that he is Godzilla and he somehow fuses with his suit, and whenever he bites someone who is also in some sort of Godzilla suit, they also fuse with the suit. So yeah, honestly, it's a quite creative concept for a Godzilla analog horror, because most of the other ones before The Man in the Suit were like, oh, it's a haunted copy of a Godzilla movie, and some soul is possessing Godzilla and stuff like that. But honestly, so far it's pretty good analog horror series. I have reacted to it, and I am also patiently waiting for the next episode. And also, ever since I reacted to the recent episode, I've become more of a Godzilla fan. And also, if I want to be honest, I'm kind of a simp for Godzilla and King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla. But that's not important. That's not important. But what is important is the fact that Unknowingly has made currently 4 teasers for some other analog horror projects. One of them being the more recent one that I will touch upon later. So, the first one he made is a teaser for a Ghostbusters analog horror. Now, honestly, just like me and everyone else can agree on, is that Ghostbusters does lend itself to possibly being a really good piece of horror media. Now, obviously, it has horror elements, but it's not completely horror. It's not downright scary. But so far this analog horror project seems to be a adaptation of the Genesis Ghostbusters game, which I don't know that much about because I'm only learning about it now. So this one seems to be a platformer where you occasionally come across boss ghosts and you have to take them down. But the teaser shows gameplay of the game, and they seem completely normal until a text box pops up with the word encounter. Now you might think, oh, this might be a boss ghost or something. It might either be a Slimer or like a original villain for the game. Instead, we get this. So I'm just gonna pop up this comment that was on the teaser that says, "Nah, we're beyond the Ghostbusters now. We need Doomslayer." Which, considering what is being shown on the screen, this is beyond a Ghostbusters level threat. This is a Doomslayer level threat. But after that, the screen goes black, and the text of "You are not welcome here" pops up. Now, from everything I've gathered, it seems that possibly this takes inspiration from the NES Godzilla creepypasta, which is not only a really good creepypasta, but it's also quite ironic considering, what Unknowingly is known for making. But honestly, I can't wait for this one. The teaser came out a while ago. I think it was like 2023 when this teaser came out. So, so I want to note is that it definitely will be a while till we do see these other series, because obviously Unknowingly is still working on The Man in the Suit. We're still waiting for that to eventually conclude whenever that happens, which I'm actually kind of interested of how that series is going to end. Will it end with The Man in the Suit destroying Japan, or we'll have a happy ending or something? I don't know. But the next teaser is for a Mickey Mouse / Steamboat Willie analog horror. Now, this teaser came out around the same time when Steamboat Willie, aka the original Mickey Mouse, came into public domain. So also a little side note, but Donald Duck is almost going to be in public domain soon, and I'm really excited for that. But the first screen pops up with a original sketch of, the original sketch made by Walt Disney of Steamboat Willie. And the text says many horror works make Mickey the antagonist, which considering how most people see Mickey Mouse as like a icon of greed, it makes sense. Like it's a shame, but it makes sense. But then after that, more text pops up that says, "What if he was the victim?" And then after that, the image and the text fade away in this cool style. It looks really cool, and that's really all the teaser is. So, my speculation is that the villain of or the antagonist of the series is either some sort of unknown demonic force or it's Pete. Because do note that Pete does appear in the original Steamboat Willie as a antagonist, so it's possibly he's going to be the villain. I don't know, but yeah. Honestly, I like that, especially since again, like I mentioned earlier, or like the teaser mentioned earlier, many horror works depict Mickey Mouse as the antagonist, so this will definitely be a nice twist. Yeah. Then the next one is for War of the Worlds. Now, before I continue on, I actually have a personal history with War of the Worlds. Back then, on my old YouTube channel that I made in 2017, I was a bit desperate for views and subscribers. Obviously, I wasn't desperate enough to do some of the stupid shit that some YouTubers do now, but I was wanting some views and subscribers. So I would go on YouTube and search up videos that are like how to get more views or how to get more subscribers. But then I came across one video that was like, okay, so basically, you need to subscribe to my channel, and then you need to like and comment this very specific video that was a reading of War of the Worlds. And when I did that, the only channel that subscribed to me was the channel that made the video, so it didn't really work out that well. So yeah, that's my little personal history with War of the Worlds. Also, War of the Worlds is a book that has two adaptations. One was this little radio play that caused controversy back then because people thought it was real. And then they got a movie adaptation in 2005, which I will actually be touching upon later. But yeah. This one opens up with a quote that says, "If we don't end war, war will end us," which, considering what's going on right now politically, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. And then after that, it cuts to this grainy footage of the main aliens from War of the Worlds causing destruction. And doing some research, I actually discovered that this is from the 2005 movie adaptation that stars Tom Cruise. Yes, that's right, Mr. Hides in the Closet Fudge Packer, villain of South Park episode 200, and is the reason why the episodes that have him in it are not available on most streaming services. Yes, that's Tom Cruise. And if you're wondering, was all that really necessary for me to mention? Yes, very necessary. So, yeah. Yeah, so I honestly I do have an interest of reading the original book and possibly even watching the 2005 movie, which also it's funny that I mentioned the South Park stuff because Trapped in the Closet episode also came out in 2005, so a little funny touch. But yeah. Anyways, getting back on topic. Yeah, I'm quite excited for all these, even if again it will take a while for most of these to get out. Honestly, if one of these were to come out, I think would be the Ghostbusters one, considering how long that teaser was shown. But the last one seems more possible, which I'll get to it. But yeah. Which, speaking of that last one, the last one is for murder drones. Now, here's the thing. The Amazing Digital Circus is the only glitch animated show that I have any interest in. Okay, here's the thing. Like, I tried to watch, not, not Tech Runners, fuck. Meta Runner. Yeah, I tried to watch Meta Runner and, Murder Drones. It just, I don't know, I just wasn't really interested in them that much. Maybe one day I might, like, sit down and watch the episodes, but, like, for now, I don't really have that much of an interest. And like, I had a bit of interest for Murder Drones because it seemed cool, because it's like, oh, this is Glitch Productions' first horror adult, or like adult horror show, or young adult horror show. But ever since they announced that new horror show that's being made by the creator of the Owl House, yeah, it's not that really terrifying to me, especially since for a horror project, the character models don't really scare me that much. And again, this is just my own personal opinion. Just saying, I don't completely hate the series. I'm not trying to shit on it or shit on people who like it. It's just personally not something for me. But again, I am willing to one day sit down and watch all the episodes. So yeah. Yeah, so this teaser opens up with two quote or not quotes. Yeah, two things of text. The first one says, "From the mind that gave you the man in the suit," and based on Glitch Productions' murder drones. While also in the background we see some sort of twisted version of a murder drone, possibly or specifically the murder drone of In. And as we can see, yeah, they are horrifying. More horrifying than they are in the actual show, which again, not trying to hate, just my personal opinion. So yeah, honestly, the screenshot I have, I don't know why, it just gives me some Walton File vibes. I don't know why, but yeah, it just they look more like, yeah, obviously they don't resemble their original models. Like they look a bit bigger and more threatening. And yeah, at the end it actually showed the date of 2025, so we're probably going to get this analog horror series somewhere around this year, either mid 2025 or late 2025. So yeah, my speculation for this series, because the series is going to be called Mechanical Instinct, my my thoughts are that there will be some sort of mechanical virus going around, turning the murder drones into these more bloodthirsty, bigger machines that have zero humanity. Like any humanity they had is just gone. Especially since there's actually some binary code at the end that reads "Murder won't be desensitized." So, yeah, this is obviously a way darker take on murder drones, more darker than the original take. And yeah, honestly, yeah, out of all of them, this is the one I'm actually most excited for, which is kind of surprising for me because, like I mentioned before, I didn't really find murder drones all that scary from what I've seen. But yeah. Um so yeah, so far, Unknowingly has four other analog horror projects that we'll probably see either in 2025 or the more reasonable option 2026. Who knows? But yeah. Now I'm going to touch upon the whole analog horror cinematic universe. Is there a chance that Unknowingly is going to be making an analog horror cinematic universe with all these projects? Now, would he immediately make like some sort of giant connected universe? Probably not, but there's a possibility. Especially since it would be really funny if the man in the suit fought the the demon hand from the Ghostbusters analog horror he's making. But yeah. Personally, I'm quite excited for all the projects. Obviously, the ones I'm looking forward to the most are the Ghostbusters one and the Murder Drones one. But yeah. Hey, if Unknowingly is watching this video, hi. I enjoy your work, and look, I'm just saying, if you ever make if you ever make a Doom analog horror, that would be great, especially if it was like based off of Doom 64. And also, if you need a voice actor for any of your projects, hit me up on Discord. So yeah. Anyways, that was it for this video. Make sure you all subscribe and like for more, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye!